Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out.
Let's do it.
Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Bam! Good afternoon and welcome to The Swimming Pool. I am your host, Travis Bridges. And this is a special edition. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I have a couple of things written down, but I don't have anything specific or in particular that I'm going to do in any order. I'm going to talk about my topic first, and then at the very end of this live stream, I have a surprise that's going to be interesting. And I want you to look into my eyes right now. You're looking into the eyes of a guy who is filled with the positive anxiety that insists on not being distracted by distractions. So with that being said, I'm going to allow my anxiety to be present while I continue to live life and move on. Again, my topic is my way or no way. And again, this is SWIM. Let me talk a little bit about SWIM. SWIM is the acronym for SWIM is the acronym for say what you mean. It's important to say what you mean, and not only say what you mean what you say. I am a big logic guy. As much as we're going to talk about emotions right now, I've got to be the most sensitive person and maybe even the most emotional person that there is. But there's no way I would even be alive today if I wasn't able to at least manage them. I have a note here to talk about controlling emotions, but even that's a strong word. If you control something, that means it's kind of out of control and you have to suppress it in some way. So I won't even say that anymore. I won't say control your emotions, control your feelings. I think it's important to just manage them, because sometimes maybe we can't. And when we can't control our emotions or even manage our emotions and they get out of hand, that's when tough stuff happens, which is what my subtopic is about, the execution of the late Charlie Kirk. I can't say that I was a fan or a follower, but when I would get the opportunity to look at some of his material, he did speak logic. He was reasonable with most of the things he said. And again, I'm a big reason and logic guy. Sometimes I have to take my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts, even my beliefs, and just put them aside, pay attention and listen to what's actually being presented. Sometimes when we look at the truth and we look at reality and we don't like it, we don't know how to manage the emotion that surfaces whenever we don't like how we feel. And that's important as mature adults, which is what I'm going to get into. I think I'm only going to be here for less than 20 minutes. I'm thinking inside 10 or 12. But remember, at the end, I have a special something I'm going to do that I've been waiting to do for a long time. So let's get into it. I don't have my fancy music right now, but guess what else? I got another call this morning from an old colleague that told me to just get ready. And I'm not surprised, because with everything that's been happening inside of my head lately, it's about time for a good solid breakthrough. And I'm not surprised that right before the breakthrough, that's when the hell breaks loose. But we must manage our emotions. So that call I got this morning was about getting ready for whatever the breakthrough is going to be. We've been discussing some things for the last 10 or 12 years, and we are on the the cusp of, something happened. He didn't give me the details quite yet, but I'm excited about what's ahead in the future. Sometimes when you move on, you never know what's in the future. For looking back, moving on is, I guess, the new thing in my season these days Anyway, no way, my way or no way. When I was young, we used to say, my way or the highway. What's happening lately with the news and things, people are saying my way or no way, and which brings me right to, the Charlie Kirk situation. That's really sad. What happens. You don't have to like what someone says. You don't have to agree with it, but you don't have to take extreme measures to do things that are outside of your character. If something someone else does or says will cause you to be out of your character, then they're not the problem. You are. Managing your thoughts, feelings, and emotions is it's very important. So I would advise us to be cautious and careful when it comes to, just give me a second. Again, I'm in one of my favorite places, and of course, I've been here for almost an hour preparing, and of course, naturally noise comes. But anyway, I've got to remain focused and not be distracted. Where was I? I was talking about, the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Obviously, some people or some person didn't like what was happening. They didn't manage their emotions and thought that he needed to just be unalived for that. That hurt my heart to know that you can't have an opinion. You can't have the right to choose based on things that don't necessarily affect you directly. And you can't be peaceful and live. He left behind a wife and kids and a lot of people that, his movement was impacting. Just because someone got mad about something, someone doesn't like something, you see the true character of people when they don't get what they want. That's not cool. You're not a child and you're not mentally challenged. So you don't get a pacify every time you start whining or crying. That goes for me too, because I know when I want what I want, I want what I want. But as a big grown man, I can't walk around throwing tantrums, and doing things that will cause other people direct harm. I know that everything I do may not be liked by everybody, but I don't think I create direct harm, maybe indirect discomfort, who knows. Anyway, let me try to get back to my focus, because now I've got about 12 minutes if I'm going to remain on time. So, my way or no way, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. So I have my notes that say emotions are tools. We're supposed to use them, not let them use us. If you use the tool of an emotion and you get the urge that something is happening, like a red flag or something, use that emotion or that insight or intuition as a tool to determine how to govern yourself, as opposed to allowing the trigger to cause you to actually react. That doesn't mean the same as respond. So when you get a trigger or you have an emotion that flares up, it's important that we govern ourselves accordingly. I know it's not easy. Sometimes when things disappoint us or they hurt us, the first thing we want to do is get back at somebody or to go and shoot them, for lack of a better word. But we just can't do that. We have to sometimes find a way to communicate, have a conversation, talk about it. Look at everything that's on the table. And I like to talk about what you look for when you communicate, if you're going to communicate wisely. Universal principles cannot be changed. So whatever is you're dealing with, if there's a universal principle that just solves the problem, accept that. Social norms, there are things that have been established already amongst society. There's certain things, that's considered a norm or social norm. Universal principles show social norms and law. Of course, we don't want to break the law. We don't want to go against, what's a reasonable expectation of normal people in society. When I say normal people, I mean people that have the ability to reason on basic principles as well as universal principles. So when you're communicating, when you have chaos or a problem, look for things that are universal. Look for things that are socially acceptable and normal. And of course, stay within the legal guidelines of anything you decide to do. And then once you get that all laid out, accept what is. You don't always have to like something. It doesn't always have to feel good. But unless we accept what is considered reality, we're going to have some problems, or we're going to create some problems. With that being said, I think it's important to just accept what is, not necessarily what you want. And sometimes it takes time to calm down or even cool down. Sometimes when something happens and it's fresh, the first thing we want to do is react really fast, and that's not always wise. Sometimes we need to take a step back, take some deep breaths, and then think about, how do we proceed? You can never go wrong when you take time and analyze for truth. Truth is not false, and you can find truth with the filters of universal principles, social norms, and law. And even with all of those as guidelines, what I think is even more important is we have a soul. We have a mind, a body, and we have a spirit. From the age of accountability, some say it's 3 to 5, some say it's 9 or 10. I recall being 10 years old and knowing the difference between good and bad and right or wrong. You don't have to be of a certain religion or a certain background. You don't have to have a certain degree. Most of the times we know when we're doing or saying or being good, right, or bad. When we're doing something bad, for lack of a better word, we have to repent and change. Sometimes it's hard to change, but change is good. So with that being said, I'm going to now go to my surprise, and let's see how much time I have. Oh, I'm good. I'm in good time. So I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do. Did you get my message about no way or my way? You can't have it your way all the time. If you communicate with someone and you come to an agreement and there's a clear understanding, then by all means, govern yourself accordingly. Try to keep your word. Don't try to keep your word. Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you agree to anything, live by what it is you're going to what you agree to. If you commit to something or someone, be committed to the commitment and govern yourself accordingly. It's hard to be disciplined. I'm going to tell you the hardest thing in the world that I've had to do was to remain disciplined with my workouts. I always like to slide that in there. You can't do it sometime and expect the full-time result. So that goes for everything else. When we make a true commitment, let's stick to it. And even if we fall off, sometimes we should try to get back on. Okay, you got that. If you don't have your way, don't freak out. Don't be crazy. Don't go pulling out guns and saying things that you can't take back, doing things that you know are not nice or not good. Do the best you can with what you have. When you know better, you can do better. And this is what I'm going to close with on that topic before I go to my special surprise over here. If you know better and you don't do better, I wish I could cuss right now, but I'm not. But just imagine, if you know better and don't do better, and you still cater to your childish ways, shame on you. Shame on you. With that being said, when we know better, let's just do better. It doesn't always have to be your way. It can be whatever it is. And just be accepting of reality to the best of your ability. Sometimes we get what we want, sometimes we don't. I know I, for the most part, don't ever get what I want. I have to be a big boy, suck it up, and move on. With that being said, I'm going to phase 2. This is only going to take a few minutes. So let me just should I play some music, go to a commercial or what? No, I'm just going to segue. Speaking of commercial, I said last time that I was going to change my intro and do a different one because it's long. But now that I'm thinking about it, it is long. But I like what's being said in the beginning of that. I don't want to lose that. So I'm not going back on my word. Maybe I'm going to think about it a little longer. Maybe I can condense that and make it shorter. But I like my intro and I don't want to change it. You just have to wait or just fast forward through it. So I may do it now, I may not. No, I'm definitely going to do it. I just may not do it before the end of the month, as I said. If you want to hold me to that, send me a message, travisbridges2@aol.com. I'll answer you. If you want me to change it, then I'll change it. But I think I'm going to let it sit there for a little longer because I like what it says in the beginning. Okay, all right. We're going to phase 2. About 3 months ago or so, one of my closest friends released a book, one of several. And just like me, of course, we started talking about it. We were talking about hers. We were talking about mine. This is one of my social media friends, not someone that I know personally, but sometimes you get to know people through how they post and what they say. And occasionally, if you can get a conversation with them, you can learn something. So this particular person has a book that was released, one of a few, actually. But I was fortunate to be able to order one, and I got it almost 2 months ago, and I have not opened it. But guess what? I'm going to open it right now in front of you, and I'm going to start reading it this weekend. And I'm going to do what I've been asking some of my readers to do, analyze what you read and see what it is. And I have a feeling that what I've been needing for a long time is actually in that book. So I am actually going to open it now, and I'm going to read it. But I had a thought in my mind that I can't remember now. I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Man, that is not cool. Anyway, let me just get to opening this book. Oh no, I was talking about social media, how you can get to know people just by, the way they post certain things. Social media is a platform that gives us the ability to be whoever we want to be sometimes. And we have to be careful following people just because of what they present. Sometimes people are doing that for their own therapy. That's another subject. But anyway, I'm about to open this. Hadn't opened it yet. And I'm going to send this to my friend because, I know what happened when I got this, and when I told her that I ordered it, I never said a word about it. And of course, I was hounding her about, my book and doing an interview and talking. As a matter of fact, oh yeah, this is where I lost my thought. I asked her to do an interview. This is crazy. I can't believe I asked this person to do an interview, and I know this was the beginning of the result of the exact change that I'm experiencing right now. This is a person I'm not going to talk about the name right now, but this person gave me their time in the form of therapy in an interview, and it was so intense that I have not aired it yet. So I've got an interview that I'm hiding. If you want to see it, send me a message, and then I may do it. But what happened was I was almost, I don't want to use the word embarrassed, but the way that interview went, it caused me to see myself in such a different way. So I'm going to say to my friend, Miss Gabriel, I want you to know that that interview changed my life and how I see myself. When I look in the mirror, I don't see the person I saw. And since that interview, I have been growing, and so many things have been changed. So many things have, I've had to cut things loose and move on from things, and just the way I was thinking and feeling just had to change after seeing myself. So thanks to you, this is the first time you're hearing me say this. What you presented, the way you spoke to me, caused me to see myself in a different light, and I really did change. It didn't feel good, but it was good for me. And even though right now, I'm dealing with something right now that doesn't feel good, but feelings are tools to be used, not for us to allow the tools to use us. So with that being said, here we go. This is called the unboxing. Well, let me see if I can peek, because I want to open it with the front of this book so that you can see it before I see it. And here it is. Let's see. It's called Deja Vu by my friend Elisa Gabriel. You can look her up, I guess, or you can find her on Facebook. I've known her for a few years. We've commented on different stuff and been good friends from a distance. She seems like she's cool. And when she finally gave me the opportunity to interview, man, it was not what I was expecting, but I got what I needed. Okay, so here is the book. It's called Deja Vu by my friend Elisa, and I'm definitely going to open it. Let's see if there's anything I can read before I start. It looks like what they call an easy read. I think she said that. So let's see, what can I start with before I go? Because I'm going to come back and do my review later. So let me just flip through, see what I see. Let me just see what this is. I'm going to read a little something just to get started. For decades, lost in the shadow of time, yet love, a phoenix never dies. Rekindled in the ashes of what was, a fire burns anew. Proof that second chances are not the end, but the beginning of forever, and that dreams do come true. I knew this would be something that I was going to need. And obviously it has to do with the relationship or the changes involved in, socializing with people or whatnot. But I'm going to actually read this, and I believe what's in here is going to be phase 2 of what I got that day when I did that interview with her. So with that being said, thank you so much for your time. I hope I am within my reasonable time. Let's see, is anybody here with me? Obviously there's 5 folk that either are watching or that at least tuned in. Anyway, no way, my way, or no way. And rest in peace, Charlie. I'm really sorry about what happened. God bless his family and those that he left behind. Hopefully we can all learn from that outrage of emotions that actually used someone else. And I don't know, that's all I can say. Let's just try to manage our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs, and do the best we can with what we have. When we know better, we can do better. But as I said before, when you know better and you still allow evil to control you, maybe you get what you get. With that being said, find someone you need to say, I love you to. Don't just say it. Show it, mean it, and let it be true. And love can be in many different ways. I think the first way you can show that you love someone is to respect them. Respect has different meanings, obviously, also. But as I said, since the age of accountability, we know good and bad, we know right from wrong. And when we know better, we have the opportunity to do better. Again, find someone you need to say, I love you to. Don't just say it. Show it, mean it, let it be true. And even if it's not, accept it. It's okay. All right, till the next time, take care of yourself. Ciao.
SWYN. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
You know, sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone, but you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. For example, take me standing right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching. Keep on searching. Keep it on the cool side. Keep it on the cool side. Keep on